生の考えをただおっしゃるっていうのではなくて、一人一人の学生と人と人として向き合って、その学生に対して必要なことをおっしゃってくださるような、尊重してくださる。それででも先生のご経験からいろんなアドバイスをくださって、それがとっても素晴らしいなと思います。他の楽器の友達を連れてレッスンに行ったこともありますね。先生も室内楽の名手でもいらっしゃるので、いろんな演奏の経験からのアドバイスをくださって、それは僕が今弾く上でもとても身になってます。印象深いことたくさんあるんですけど、いつもやっぱり音楽に対しての愛情と尊敬と、そして厳しい真摯な姿勢っていうのをいつもどんな作品に取り組む時にも持ってらして、そういった音楽に対する姿勢が一番印象に残ってますね。先生の言葉で印象に残ってるのが、音って記憶だっておっしゃっていて、いい音を聞いたり、すごい感動する音を聞いた時ってすごくそれって自分の中に残って、いつかそれを出してみたいとか、そういう風に味とかと一緒で、こういう音が本当に存在するんだっていうのを、いろんな音、ピアノだけじゃなくていろんなものから吸収するっていうのがとても印象に残ってて、レッスンの時に先生弾いてくださるんですけど、僕にとってもその音が自分と同じピアノ弾いてるのに全然違う音がするので、どうやって出てるんだろうなっていつももう感動しながら見てましたけど。86年？すごいこんなのあるんですね。やっぱり、僕よりだいぶ大きいでですね。すごい。先生の手のお話をちょっとだけすると、もうやっぱり僕より大きいのはもちろんなんですけど、厚みがあって、野球のグローブみたいな感じだなっていう、この近くでいつも見てたんですけど、ここの厚みと大きさもあって、それで、すごい魔法のような音がここから出るんですけど、でもその音がやっぱり耳に焼き付いて、いつかああいう音を出してみたいなって思いますけどね、なかなか出ないですけどね。去年の3月ぐらいからでしたよね。もう全部演奏会キャンセルになって、それで7月ぐらいに久しぶりに仙台フィルの演奏会でベートーベンの皇帝のコンチェルトを弾いたんですけれども、久しぶりに演奏会当日もだったんですけど、そのリハーサルに伺った時に、そのオーケストラの生の音を同じ舞台の上で聞いた時に、本当にその生の音の振動っていうか、体が震える感じと、その自分の弾いた音とがブレンドした時に、とても幸せな思いがして、で演奏会当日その音楽をそれでお客さんと一緒に感じることができた時に、本当に久しぶりだったんですけど、こんなに生の音楽ってやっぱり素晴らしいものなんだなっていう、音楽の持ってる力っていうか、そのエネルギーをすごく感じて、もちろんその録音とかね CD とかの良さもあるんですけれども、その生の会場で音楽を感じることができるっていうのは、自分が弾く時もですし、聴きに行った時もですし、本当に素晴らしいなってより深く思うようになりました。一人で弾くこともありますし、コンチェルト弾かせていただくこととか、室内楽をやらせていただいたりとか、また今学校でも教えることがあったりっていろんな活動をしているんですけれども、一つ一つのことが目先のことにとらわれずに、音楽に対して深い愛情を持っていろんなことに取り組んでいけたらなと思います。いや、もう僕にとってはもうやっぱり憧れの尊敬する先生で、日本でも演奏会をやりになって、今コロナでちょっと延期とかされてましたけど、日本に移住されたばっかりの頃かな、3年ぐらい前の演奏会が来たことができて、やっぱりもう先生のその音楽に対する向き合い方、真摯な姿勢っていうのがもうさらに深まっているような感じがして、もうずっとその背中を見て僕も精進しなきゃなっていつも思います。僕にとって先生と出会えたことっていうのは人生の中でとっても大きなことで、音楽 をやる上でっていうのでもそうなんですけれども、先生の考え方で本当に好きなのが、音楽を通して人として成長していくっていうことをいつもおっしゃっていて、そういう考え方っていうか音楽に対する哲学を持ってらした方と僕は出会うことができて、とっても影響を受けましたし、財産に心の糧になっているので、なかなかこういろんなことにこうとらわれて悩んでしまった時に、その考え方っていうのがやっぱり自分の道しるべになってるなっていうふうのを今ね、定期的に先生に聞いていただいてるわけじゃないので、でもやっぱりその先生の音楽に対する向き合い方とか、そういう姿勢っていうのが自分の中に指針として上がって、とてもありがたいなと思います。ショパンの読者ということでね、音楽とかピアノに関わってる方が多いと思うんですけど、ピアノとか音楽をやるっていうことがそういうことにつながったり、人生を豊かにしてくれるものってなんかこう勉強できたら、自分も含めていつもそう思っているんですけど、愛情を持ってそうやってやってってほしいなっていうのが、僕が言うのもおこがましいんですけど、先生からいただいたこととしてお伝えしたいかなと思います。10月の頭に仙台で仙台クラシックフェスティバルってずっと続いてるフェスティバルがあって、仙台ゆかりの演奏家の方々とモーツァルトの管楽器とのご重奏と、あとはゴーゴスナオ君って若手のもうとても素晴らしいバイオリニストと2公演出演いたしますので、ぜひお越しください。それから10月の末には浜離宮ホールでトリオアコードっていう大学時代の同級生で組んでるトリオがあるんですけど、去年の3月にベートーベンの CD を録音しまして、その CD にも入れたベートーベンのトリオと、あと竹光とメンデルスゾーンっていうプログラムで浜離宮とか兵庫とか何か所かでやるので、どちらもよろしかったら聴いてください。お願いします。
I just realized that the first time I came to Japan was more than 40 years ago. So I'm not going to speak about my whole history with the relationship with Japan. It would be too long, like a long movie. What I would like just to say that I always loved this country, the landscape, the food, the sake of course, and I was always feeling very well here. I had the chance at the beginning to be engaged as a soloist for the summer tour of NHK Orchestra, and of course I had the pleasure to play with this wonderful orchestra and to give some great concerts, but also to visit Japan, to visit some new towns in province, to test some new cuisine and new sake as well. So this is among the great memories I have. And as you know, finally, it's a little bit like in sport. What happens is what happens after the concert, not during the concert. That is important. That makes me remembering that once I was playing with Maestro Iwaki, and after the concert we went to an izakaya. So don't ask me which concerto I was playing, maybe Saint-Saëns or something like that. But I do remember Maestro Iwaki teaching me how to pour correctly a beer so that the foam gets the right density. This kind of small memory is a very important part of a good feeling I had in Japan. In 1981 I started to give concerts in Japan. Almost immediately, 2-3 years after, I started to be asked for lessons, and like that you can imagine how many Japanese students I had the chance to teach and to meet. And of course after that I started to be professor in Paris, where I stayed for 4 years until 96. In 96 I decided to change my life, and I went to Germany, in Berlin. It was like an old dream to live in Germany. So it's in Germany, in fact, that I had the chance to meet Yuya Tsuda. I was very happy when he decided to come to my class. Very happy because he's a kind pianist, very sensitive, very clever, but also full of fantasy, full of ideas. And this is always a pleasure to teach such students. He was very, very much loved in the class in Berlin, so much loved that he was marrying one of my students, but also he has always good contact with other people. And I suppose that now that he became a great professor in Geda, it much helped him for the contact with the, what you say, Abteilung, with a section of professor. So, like that, I had really the chance to listen to him in concert, few different concerts. One of them I do remember very clearly. It was one of the last Schubert sonata, and he was able there to show his special feeling with such music. I think Yuya would be a wonderful chamber musician. Since now 3 years, we live in Nagaleyama, a very little town near Tokyo. We have a wonderful house there. And it's a small town but very alive. And the mayor of the town is a wonderful man. He was kind enough to come to one of my recitals in Tokyo. And after the concert we were speaking together. And he was telling us that they built a new concert hall in Otakano-mori. You can imagine concert hall for a musician. Immediately we thought we have to organize a new festival. And like that, Nagaleyama International Chamber Music Festival was born. It was planned to be in May 20. You imagine the work we had to organize the concerts, to organize the rehearsals, of course to contact all our friends to see if they are free. And finally, when everything was ready, 2 months before, the COVID decided to invite himself. So we had to cancel. So what to do? The only thing to do is to go on. We tried to have new dates, to be sure that our friends are free, and the festival was planned for May 21, and cancel again. So, again, what to do? With this COVID, you don't have choice. You have to forget everything else and decide that music is more important than anything else. So what we did is to simply to speak again with my friends, and we decided that in May 22 will be the premiere of the Nagaleyama International Chamber Music Festival. At least in our head, it's already very famous. But to be absolutely sure, we asked to the town to organize a pre-event, and they were accepting. So it will be a pre-event for this festival this year, 21, on the 31st of October. And for this special event, we forget about chamber music. It's a very special moment. We decided to do a very special concert. We will have an all Mozart concert. The whole evening will be with this wonderful, fantastic composer, always full of joy, full of life. The orchestra of Toho Gakuen was accepting to come. It will be conducted by Hikotaro Yazaki, and they will play at the beginning Mozart Symphony. So after that, with Rikako, we will play the concerto for 2 pianos. And the second part, 2 wonderful artists and friends will play for this audience the double concerto for flute and harp, Shigenori Kudo and Naoko Yoshino. So we hope that this concert will be really special, and that this Mozart music will bring to the people the feeling that now we are away of all this pandemic. I would like to add a few words for my young colleagues. We all know how difficult was this period. And maybe especially for you, you are young, the future is in front of you, and for most of you, the future is not clear. What are you going to be? What are you going to do? I cannot do the future for you, but at least I can tell you that the most important thing is to consider that music is a gift. Music is something that can really make your life open and happy if you consider the music as more important than anything else. Now, I'm sure that you want to be famous, you want to give concerts, you want to appear at the TV, maybe it's your dream. So maybe you can work for that as well, but never forget that if you work for the music, maybe you can work for the success. But if you think only of success, little by little you will be dry and without soul. Never forget that. Keep the music as the food of your life, as the whole energy of the life. Thank you. Kurumi is our best friend. May I introduce him? He is 2 years old and a very, very nice dog. Not really quite. Kurumi, you're perfect.